Good evening, everyone. Welcome to the Ohio Fly Tying Guild. I'm Gary Begley, and I've got something different planned this evening. I'm going to tie some poppers, a couple of poppers. One real small one for panfish that I use, and another one that I use specifically for smallmouth bass. But there's other species that's going to work with as well. Largemouth bass, of course. Pike, muskie, striped bass, from what I understand, will hit on a pretty good sized popper. So I'll show you what it looks like. This one has most all the bells and whistles, I'll say. It's got a little bit of flash on the underside. It's got rubber legs, eye set, rubber leg material underneath for some extra action in the tail. And what I'm going to tie tonight is going to have a weed guard. The body that I'm going to use, it's a soft foam body. So I can go through with my bodkin through the body and actually get the legs coming out from the body. So this hook, you can see, it's got a crank shape. That's to keep the body from spinning. And I'm tying on size 4 this evening. It's a Mustad CK52S. There are other brands of hook manufacturers that make a popper hook as well. So Mustad is not your only choice. Thread base all the way back. Mustad has these hooks available from a size 8 up to a size 2. And I think I mentioned, or maybe I neglected to mention, I'm tying on size 4 tonight. So the first thing we want to do is get the weed guard started in. This is a piece of 30-pound monofilament. Zip this forward. Get my measurement here. This is eventually going to go up through the hook eye and be folded over and bound down. I want the distance from the mono up to the hook, bottom of the hook, be about half the hook gap. I can crimp this. I can tell where I need to go. Now I'm going to flatten this. This is a pair of needle nose pliers with no serrations. They're smooth jawed inside. Flatten that part, and we'll flatten a little in the rear on the back part of the crimp. So eventually that'll be up there, right before I glue the body on, actually, and be bound down like that. So that's going to be the hook guard shape. But for now, let me get this out of the way. Put it in the material clip. Now, this part isn't necessary. One of the things I'm going to do are not absolutely necessary. If I'm going to take the time to tie one of these, I'll go ahead and have one with some plenty of action. Now forward. Get these pieces of rubber leg material will be on the underside of the tail. Shouldn't be visible to anyone except the fish. Now, I like to tie in a couple pieces of crystal flash. I like the pearl. I've got this cut off, got the corner of this cut off, so I can go in and just grab two of them, or however many I need. This is the approximate center. Half of them on one side of the hook shank and the other half on the other side. I'll trim both of those materials to length a little bit later. Temporarily, there's a popper body on. You can see how these function. It's got a split right in the foam. We'll put this on here for measurement purposes at the moment. Now I know how much hook shank I've got to work with back here when it's for tying the tails. I like to have 3 feathers for the tail. And I've got them glued together, which is pretty common practice, especially many years ago, some of the old streamers utilize a contact cement. And you can angle these up, down, whatever you prefer. I like to have them so they V out, give it a little more action in the water. A good thread base for my collar. Collar, skirt, whichever you might prefer. Probably skirt is probably the best title for it. What I've got is just a saddle hackle. That's what these are, saddle hackle. And have it so the cups like I do dry fly hackle. Also that way, come up the other side. Like the way where I started it's at. The first thing we do when we tie a hackle on, we're going to wrap it. We stand it up. We tie it on parallel with the hook shank, and then we stand it up. Why not tie it on standing up to begin with? One wrap across, then come up between the hook shank and the racus. Actually, is called a feather stem. Now I'm going to wrap. I have to bend the feather over to start off with. Get some hackle pull. Let's turn in front of the thread. I'll have to just come up and take it a turn or two, tie it off. I'd like to go behind it again. Upper body off for a sec. Make it easier to drag all these rearward. So it must leave. You there with the monofilament weed guard. Goes up. These couple layers of thread here is just a good base to glue the popper body on. And first, on that. And I don't even use any glue on the monofilament. And I have never, ever had one come off in the water. Make sure I didn't get too much bulk. It looks good. One thing I do usually do that I neglected to is put a little, once I get the wing sets on, put a little super glue on them. Well, I'm not going to worry about it for this demo because I'm past it. I don't want to get super glue all over my hackle. Glue the popper body on. I'm going to open it up, get some Loctite super glue. I got the gel. Hold that tight together for a couple seconds or so. There's the tails to skirt the head, wax guard. I'm going to put some eyes on it and rubber legs. And again, this is why I like the soft body. It's a soft foam. Because I can put the legs wherever I wish. I'm just going to drive my bodkin straight through. Pull it back out. And you can use your bobbin threader. I've got a dental floss threader. It works great for me. Put that through instead of my bodkin. And I've got a couple sets of legs here. I like 3 legs. Pull this through. So how tight it was. Again, I don't use any glue. Time for some leg or some eyes. You can use whatever size you wish. Whatever size, color, all the colors are totally optional. Whatever you think your fish are going to like. Always push these on with a bodkin or a toothpick. It eliminates me getting fingerprints all over. this about the same distance. Of course, I can't see both eyes at the same time. One on each side. I doubt that the fish can. There is I refer to it as a bass popper. Absolutely love fishing these. Again, that one was a size 4. This is a size 8 that I use for panfish, bluegill, sunfish. You fill in the blank. I've already got the foam head on. Rubber legs and eye sets, obviously. Major difference here is I use Marabou. The action of the Marabou for the sunfish and bluegill works great. Now I'm going to tear off some of these barbs. Get a little bit more. Get the thread started. Measurement, I want at least the length of the full hook. Like, like to have two different colors. So I'm going to add some yellow on top. Paired in the same method. A lot of movement in the water. Next, you need to put the skirt on. Work that way. I'm going to basically the shiny part up top. And my thread counterclockwise. Bit too long. Get rid of that. And the same procedure to create the skirt. Let's turn front of the thread. Get rid of the excess. Quick finish. Notice I've only got 2 rubber legs on this small size instead of 3. So that completes that pop. Questions or comments?
Yeah, Gary, did on that last one, did you put the rubber legs in ahead of time on the foam?
I did.
Okay.
I did the rubber legs and the eyes set.
Yeah, very good. Very
Thanks for the kind words. Yeah, like I said, I really enjoy fishing the poppers for both panfish and smallmouth bass.
Gary, you ought to try them on trout too. Just a tip.
Okay. I I was forgetting to do that. I was going to ask if you showed up or if there's somebody knew that trout would hit on a popper.
Like crazy, especially some of the ponds in Montana. That's the only thing I can speak to. But some of the ponds in Montana, the after the fish had been seen every fly in the fly shop around, show them something a little different in a small yellow popper or whatever the heck. But yellow has always worked well for me because worked very well in some of the ponds.
Yeah. The way I fish, especially the bass popper, throw it in the water, wait till the ripples die down. And then I can give it just a little wiggle, move my rod tip maybe an inch or 2, depending on how much slack you have in between you and the fly. Wait till the riffles calm down. And then I'll go into a little more aggressive. I'll like three strips of 5 or 6 inches quick and stop. And generally, whenever I go to pull again, that's when it'll strike. Something else I like to do, you ever walk along the side of a creek or river or pond and you hear something go kaplop into the water up ahead of you? You scared a frog into the water. If it's a small stream, I'll cast a popper on the other side, actually hit the bank with it over there, and then lift my rod tip about 6 inches and strip about 6 inches. So it dropped it, and then I just made my popper jump into the water. I've had a lot of good success with that method too.